This is Anime Out of Context, a comedy review podcast hosted by a weeb of the highest order, alongside a cynical man who knows nothing about anime. Our show features spoilers, explicit language, and poor fact-checking. Neither of our hosts are experts on any topic, and none of their opinions should be taken as fact. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I throw some Mentos into a 2-liter Coke and see if I can chug it all in one go.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
And honestly, Rem, that sounds like a way more pleasurable outcome than what's about to happen today.
Shaun, before we begin,
Yes?
I want to say a few things.
What would you like to say, Rem?
First of all, Shaun, I want to express my appreciation that you went and you researched for this episode. As you made it clear last week, it was a grueling task. I'm sure it was not pleasant for you throughout this week, but I appreciate your willingness to do it. Secondly, we don't have to do this episode, Shaun, because I give in. I surrender. I'm going to be on the Discord by the time that this episode is up. It's fine. We don't need to do it. So I love that you research. You're really thorough. It's great that you did it, but we don't need to. We don't need to punish ourselves, Shaun, through this, because I give in. It's over. The war is over. We can watch something good this week instead.
It's too late for that, Rem.
I know. It doesn't have to be too late, Shaun.
I've seen the depths of hell.
Oh, no.
I thought we had gone deep enough, Rem.
Oh, no.
But turns out I was wrong. I thought that maybe I would be able to break you with 2 weeks of Sword Art Online, but apparently you thought, nah, I can last another week, that's fine.
But do we need to drive off this cliff, Shaun? Maybe when I drove over the cliff, we just do some Wile E. Coyote, stay up there for a second, put it into reverse, back out of there.
That would be nice, wouldn't it, Remington? That would just change everything. All the suffering I went through, all the heinous atrocities that I had to watch just to solidify my decision, because I didn't just watch one show, Remington.
No.
I had a list of shows that I could show you after Sword Art Online to really accentuate some of the things you hate in anime. And I ended up deciding on one, and honestly, Rem, I'm not certain we'll be able to record a part 2.
Oh, God.
Because if you didn't, try to give in before I told you what was going on,
Oh, no.
the concept alone probably would have made you give in.
Oh, no.
Not to mention that the show itself is the most insulting thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh,
and
boy.
I managed to avoid it when it was airing, but now that I'm in the position I'm in, I had to.
Oh.
I figured it would be worth the shot, and honestly, Rem, I wish I could just say, you know what? Thank you, Rem. Thank you. Let's watch something good. Let's watch something lovely. We could watch something like Anohana. That would be great. That would be heartwarming. We could do Evangelion. That's been requested a lot. I would love to watch those anime. But no, Rem. Rem, you held out just a little too long. Long enough where I had to research things I genuinely did not want to watch or ever want to watch ever again. Even reading the fucking synopsis kind of hurt me a lot.
That was my concern.
And honestly, Rem, you also made a really mean JoJo joke at the end of the last episode, and I'm still remembering that one. Because you do not insult my boy Joseph and get away with it.
Let's face it, Shaun, we all know I deserve punishment. However, does that mean it should be inflicted upon me?
Let me put it to you this way, Rem. The most requested thing on our Discord right now that people wanted me to show you was just straight up hentai. And there are some people who say, no, that wouldn't be as good because that's just porn, and he wouldn't be as shocked as he could be for things that aren't considered porn.
I like how it's like, so many people are like, well, hentai, it'll kill him. And then other people are like, no, that's not bad enough. That's not evil enough for him.
And I kept my promise. I'm not showing you an actual hentai.
Oh, phew.
I'm showing you something worse. Because at least with hentai, there's inherent positive if it's your thing. With this show, I struggle to even understand what the benefit is. I am just flabbergasted by the sheer absurdity of the concept, of the world building, of the whole goal overall, and the characters can't be called characters. And oh my god, the most annoying mascot character I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life is here.
I'm sorry, are we doing Sword Art Online again?
No. I wish we were doing Sword Art Online again.
Oh no.
I would rather do Sword Art Online than what we're doing today, Rem.
Oh.
In fact, I'd rather do 2 more weeks of Sword Art Online than what I'm doing today. Because at least with Sword Art Online, I can laugh at your pain.
Oh no.
With this, I'm going to get angry.
Oh boy.
And so will you, Rem.
Oh, okay. So, what exactly is it that I'm being punished with this week, Shaun?
Well, it's a anime based off of a video game, Rem.
Wait. Okay. So, based off of a video game.
Yep. We've never really done one before.
So not a video game anime like Sword Art Online.
Nope.
Or an anime turned into a video game like Sword Art Online.
Nope.
Okay. So we're watching the good old Pac-Man anime, Pac-Man-anime, if you will.
I would rather watch Pac-Man Rule 34 than this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Do I know the video game?
No.
Oh.
If you did, I would be impressed. Because I didn't know it was a video game until I did research into it.
Oh, okay.
Because as soon as it popped up on my dashboard of coming anime, I was like, bit of a weird name. Wonder what the premise is. Oh, that's worse. Oh, that's bad. Who came up with this? Oh, it was a video game. Okay, I see. What's the game like? Oh, it's worse. All right. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's a game that came out in 2012.
Oh no, the dark times.
Yeah, for anime. And it was received quite poorly, as far as I'm concerned.
Wait, so what? It's not even like an anime adaptation of a good video game?
No. It's basically a Shin Megami Tensei knockoff.
But of course.
Have you heard of Persona?
I am vaguely familiar.
Persona is a sub-series of games based on Shin Megami Tensei games.
Okay.
It's adult Pokemon, essentially.
Okay.
It's capturing spirits and monsters in a grim, dark, gritty world, and lots of violence, lots of blood, lots of gore.
Maybe one day I'll play it.
They're quite nice. Some of them are, and they're quite fun. Persona, love them to death. Great game series. Almost made me buy a PS4 because I wanted to play Persona 5 so bad.
One day we'll do some nice weeb games, and it'll be a good change of pace.
That would be nice.
It's not one of those days.
No. Because that's what this game is trying to be. It's trying to be that kind of collectathon-style game with RPG elements and turn-based combat and all kinds of things.
But instead, you're just trying to, collect a harem.
Yep.
Oh, I knew it!
But that's the bare basics of it, Rem, because it goes a couple steps further beyond that.
Oh, God.
And let me get into it, first of all.
Okay.
The name of this anime is simply known as Conception.
Conception. Okay.
See how that could be a bit of a problematic name, can't you?
I was okay with it for a second.
A second.
And then it dawned on me.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game released for the PSP in 2012.
The PSP?
The PSP, yep.
Okay, wait a minute. So just to get the facts straight, there was a bad PSP game created. Then someone decided, yes, from this poorly rated PSP game, we're gonna make an anime.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep, it came out in 2012, was received kind of poorly, and then it got a remake, actually.
Oh, jeez, why?
Well,
keeps trying to make
a
this
remaster, I should say, on the PS4 in January of 2019.
Who keeps trying to make this work?
Right after the anime came out.
Oh, God.
In December of 2018. Remington, this is probably the worst anime of 2018.
Oh, wow.
And it's a recent anime, really recent.
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted that this thing could even exist. But apparently it did well enough in the anime that it got a remaster of its game, I guess, is what I'm getting from this.
Okay, so is the anime itself called Conception?
Yes.
Okay, definitely never heard of it.
No, I wouldn't have expected you to. Apparently there was also a second game called Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars, that was released for the PlayStation Vita and the Nintendo 3DS between 2013 and 2014, with a Japanese and English version released on Steam in 2016.
Okay.
So it's not as old as you'd think, but it's still problematic.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And this game is rated a 5.03 on Mal. Well, the movie is. The anime is.
A 5?
0.03. It's the lowest one we've ever done, Remington. Lower than Forest Fairy 5.
It's lower than Forest Fairy 5? How is that possible? impossible.
Yep.
Wait, what? I didn't know that weebs could rate so low.
Oh, nope, I exaggerated. Force Fairy 5 had a 3.27.
Okay, well, I thought it was like a low 6.
No. It was a 3.27 for Force Fairy 5.
It's the second lowest.
Second lowest show we've ever done. If this had existed when we first started our podcast, I might have used it as an example for a really, really bad anime. But then you would have quit the podcast by episode 13. So
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Oh, no.
And I was thinking about saving it for episode 69 as well, because I figured it would be a good fit. But honestly, it's too late, Rem.
Oh, no.
We've gone too far. So first, I would like to say that this is an isekai.
Always a rough start.
This is one of the only, we've only done a couple isekais, and I've been meaning to do more because there's some good isekai I would like to cover.
Which we're not doing today.
No. Yeah, no. Aired in the fall of 2018, has a total of 12 episodes, ranked with a 5.03 on Mal, which is high in my opinion. This is the basic synopsis.
All right, let's hear it.
On his high school graduation day,
Wait, are his parents alive?
fuck if I know,
Oh, okay, well, who cares about him?
Itsuki's cousin, Mahiro, tells him that she's pregnant.
Oh, no!
Just then, a gate of light emerges and transports the two into the world of Granvania.
Wait, what the fuck?
In this land, impurities have been causing a disturbance to the stars, ultimately plunging Granvania into chaos and disorder.
Wait, what the fuck?
So yeah, you get the incestuous pregnancy bomb right at the beginning, and then out of nowhere, both of them get dropped into another world.
That took a strong left turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, we've had sudden isekai for like the slime reincarnate. It was very sudden, very abrupt, but it was great.
Yeah.
So maybe there's hope.
And Itsuki is now revealed to be the one who is fated to meet with the Star Maidens.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And is seen as Granvania's last hope and was given thus the task to produce star children.
Yup, here we go.
And combat the impurities. And unless the task is complete, Itsuki may never be able to return home.
Okay, so let me get this shit straight. So first of all, gotta remove impurities, getting nice and little neo-Nazi in here. It's like a neo-Nazi fetishistic isekai.
I wish.
Oh, Jesus. It's, what the fuck? Okay, so the whole goal is just impregnation. That's the goal. Conception, if you will.
Yep, that's the goal.
But why?
To save the magical world that they've been thrust into.
Okay, first of all, why him? Second of all, why did they bring her?
Well, Ram, one of the main reasons that he's the one fated, aside from prophecy bullshit, is, if I remember correctly, I don't know, I was drinking a lot while doing research for this.
So some details might be fuzzy.
Yeah, so if I'm inaccurate in any of my facts, please forgive me. I'm trying to get better at my research.
You could send in corrections, but frankly, for this episode, he probably doesn't give a shit.
No. One of the main reasons he is as powerful as he is because apparently he's one of the only people in this world who has the ability to have threesomes.
Wait, what the fuck?
It's a little more complicated.
Wait,
no,
what?
It's not complicated than that. He's able to bang two girls at once. That's a thing.
Wait. When you say bang two girls at once, do you mean the way that, like, one would imagine that, where it's like, hey, all three of us are together? Or do you mean like he got two dicks?
The former.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay. Well,
again, I was drinking a lot.
Why is that special?
I don't know.
Oh.
Why
is that necessary?
If I remember correctly, again, it was really fuzzy at this point. And I I've been trying to get better at my research so I don't make as many egregious errors. I've made a few in the recent episodes, and I apologized for them via Twitter and other means. So I am very sorry. But if you expect me to research this show as much as I have, and go up to 11 for this piece of utter shit, then you have given me far too much credit.
Really, Shaun learned quite a bit about the anime, but he also just more so learned about his favorite cocktails.
Yeah. Turns out, really big fan of anything of the pink variety. And blue. Basically, just most drinks. I'm not a big gin guy, but I drank some gin.
Just anything to drown it out.
Yeah, the closest I've ever gotten into being flat out plastered was researching this anime.
All right, so thank God he can have threesomes so he can get more pregnant at once. So how many of these star people are there?
I don't want to say. More than is necessary.
Oh, God.
And you want to know what is the worst part about it, Rem?
What?
The star children?
Yep.
They're not human.
Wait, pardon me? Wait, what the fuck?
You'll see.
Wait, whoa, what the fuck?
Rem, we've been going at this for about 15, 20 minutes now. I've only scratched the surface.
Wait, what the fuck?
This anime insults your intelligence, insults your sensibilities, insults women and humans as a whole, insults the very idea of humor, especially sex-based humor, which, in my opinion, can be fucking hilarious if done right.
It certainly can be.
Some anime do it really well, actually. None that you've seen.
Unfortunately.
But oh my god, I just don't understand. Most of the jokes are said directly to the camera with, you get it? It's sex.
Oh
Wink.
God, it's Kuroko no Basket, but like far more overt.
Worse. It's worse than Rosario Vampire Rem.
Oh no.
With a raccoon mascot that I think is supposed to be female. I can't tell. All I know is it hurts my ears.
Oh boy.
And I am tilted to the extreme. I cannot believe that this was ever made. And the worst part is that the game that this show is based on was connected to a game that I really, really enjoy. Not in a canonical sense, but in a similar producer sense, if I remember correctly. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with that producer after he made one really, really good game and then went to this. I just don't understand, and wait, so
the point of this PSP game was to get these anime bitches pregnant?
Yes, and save the world in a turn-based combat style.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yep.
Do you gotta do a quick time event to fuck?
No, don't be ridiculous. It's not even, wanna know what makes it almost worse, Remington?
What?
It's not an eroge.
What?
No, not an eroge.
I don't understand this.
Like, I would have expected this to be straight up a hentai thing, but it's like they took a hentai concept, or someone sent in a hentai concept, but it accidentally went to the wrong group, and they're like, hey, this could be good.
It went to Reki.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
And here we are in this bad place, and I don't want to be here anymore, but unfortunately, somebody didn't give in after 2 weeks of Sword Art Online, so here I am, and I have to deal with the repercussions. And some people apparently rated the game quite highly. I don't think it was accurate. I think they're lying.
Have you played the game at all?
Fuck no. That would mean I'd have to spend money and buy it on Steam, and I ain't fucking gonna do that.
Oh, God.
No fucking way. I would rather die. Like, ugh.
I'm just waiting. One day we'll start a Patreon, and one of the Patreon perks is going to eventually be, if we get enough, then you'll end up playing the game, and it'll be a great little dumpster fire.
Can we not?
I'm going to give that as a promise to all of our listeners now, especially better because I still don't really know what we're getting ourselves into right now. When eventually we start a Patreon, there will be some sort of goal where when we reach that, then Shaun will play the game. I won't. I'm innocent. I get no punishment.
Yeah, you have to play it with me, you son of a bitch.
I don't know, but I don't think our listeners want that.
Nobody would want to listen to just me play a game.
Our listeners don't want to see me play the game. You're the professional. You really should be the one to do that. But that's a separate matter. That's something we'll figure out later, and then I'm sure the Discord will overwhelmingly, unanimously agree on that it should just be you, and I should not be at all involved. And I'll be on the Twitter, so I'll be on the Discord, so I'll be able to also have the say. Yay!
No, Remington.
Oh,
Just no. I've run out of goofs. I'm tilted beyond extreme. And this is nowhere near the worst thing I could show you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is just what I decided was bad enough conceptually alone. Hey, there it is. To make you break. And good news for you, Remington. Since you did admit to breaking at the beginning of the episode, you won't have to do this anything worse next week, most likely.
Thank God.
But we're still gonna have to get into it, and I don't want to.
Oh, no.
So, with a heavy heart and a heavy soul, let's go watch some Conception. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 3 long, excruciating episodes of the arguably the worst anime of 2018, Conception. And Remington, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never seen you this sad.
I'm not sure if I'm emotionally prepared to record right now.
I don't think either of us are.
Like I like to try, and when recording, we try to keep it high energy and at least to be able to be interesting in this audio medium. It's gonna be a little bit difficult this time round.
Yeah, you might say that because, Remington, usually I can keep in pretty high spirits after watching something horrible, because usually I enjoy your suffering, but, I said at the beginning, I'm sorry that I have to do this, but at the same time, this is your goddamn fault, Remington.
I am an innocent man. I gave in before the punishment was enacted.
You could have given in before I had to research it, Rem. That would have been fine. We wouldn't have been in this situation. I could have just tucked this away into the back of my mind, never think about it ever again. But no, Rem, no. You had to go that one extra leak. You had to just push the envelope a little too far. You had to see just how far I was willing to go. And guess what, Remington? I went there. I hate it. I want to go home, and I'm already home.
Well, I mean, Shaun, you're on the Discord, and something you should know, and our fans certainly remind us, my opinions and my decisions are terrible. Why did you ever let it rest on my decisions?
Because, Remington, it's called building a narrative, you fuck.
Yep, and I've been defeated week after week with Keijo, with Sword Art Online, with more goddamn Sword Art Online, but Conception, oh dear God, Conception, it wins, it defeats me. I cannot challenge successfully and beat Conception. I lose.
I told you it would be impossible to conceive at the end of our last episode, Rem. I told you it was gonna be bad, but did you listen? Did you trust your old pal, Shaun? No, you didn't.
This podcast has eroded any trust that I ever once had for you, Shaun. You should know that.
I even gave you a whole fucking week to think about it, man. Multiple weeks. You knew this was gonna get bad. I take no responsibility for this. The only responsibility I take is making you watch it after you gave in. And that's just because you made me fucking watch it myself. And now I have it twice over in my head. I could give you a play-by-play, a scene-by-scene.
I'll be honest, I was just really hoping that I could somehow get you to watch it without me watching it. That was my platonic ideal, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, no. Of all of your maniacal schemes, like, compared to the Cory in the House epidemic, this is your worst attempt, man. You had to know that after watching something as horrible as it was, that I was gonna show it to you no matter what, right?
I mean, I had an idea, but it's worth a shot. You gotta shoot your shot, Shaun.
Yeah, well, you should have just thrown away that shot. This isn't Hamilton, man. You can't get away with this shit. Clearly.
Well, I guess, without further ado, let's discuss one of the worst things that I have ever witnessed in my life.
Same, buddy, same. So, Rem, what do you think of Conception?
Oof.
That seems a bit mild.
I mean, I'll be honest, I do not think that I can adequately put into words how piss poor this anime was.
Really?
It was so, let's start off simply. Let's start off with the intro. All right, the intro. Good God. One of the single worst intros that we have ever seen at all.
Are we talking about the opening theme or just the introduction to the series as a whole? I can't tell, honestly.
What I said applies to both, frankly.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's discuss both. So first, the OP, we can get that one over with. It's literally just scenes from the first episode with no change at all. There was like one different shot of something that we didn't see in episode 1. Other than that, that's literally all it was.
Yep. It was the worst OP I've ever seen in my life, especially considering that I couldn't even even enjoy the music, man.
No, the music is bad. The animation, and this will, you'll see, be a common theme, was extremely lazy and bad, horribly unimpressive, but with the OP, just not worthwhile. But let's talk about then the other meaning of intro, the beginning of the show itself. And oh boy, it does not hesitate to show you where it is going.
I mean, it started with a somewhat interesting overhead shot of the school and then a perspective shot of going up some stairs.
Literally the most artistic things about this entire show.
And then it quickly throws those over the edge like we wish we could have jumped off with those ideas.
Yep, and then you have these two cousins conversing, and they start talking, and the girl, who I do not remember their names, I remember hardly anything about them, I'll be honest, but it doesn't matter. Instead, she will be, she's Virgo. Yes, of course. So we got Virgo over here, Little Miss Virgo.
I don't think it's appropriate to just call women virgins, Remington. That's just not a good move.
What is appropriate about this show, Shaun?
Well, nothing.
So we got Little Miss Virgo, and then we have Bland Bitch protagonist number 73. And so they're talking, and Little Miss Virgo is like, hey, this is real awkward, but I'm preggers. And I'd like to imagine that's the exact word used. She's preggers.
I mean, it would be an improvement to the show's writing, Remington.
It would. At least then there'd be some semblance of personality. And so it's like she's preggers, and she's like, don't you want to know who the father is? And he's like, nah, I don't care. It's fine. And she's like, are you sure you don't want to know who the father is though? Because I think maybe you should know. And he's like, no, I'm comfortable. I trust you in your life decisions, which is just like the most awkward way. Like they pretend that he's some virtuous white knight kind of guy, that he's so nice and sweet that he doesn't even need to ask. But that doesn't signal nice and sweet. That just signals like apathy and like he doesn't give a shit.
I found his name.
Oh, okay. What are their names, Shaun?
His name is Itsuki.
Itsuki.
Yeah,
Neat.
and the girl is Mahiru.
Mahiru.
You don't need to call her name, just call her Virgo, because honestly, that's the only thing we can remember about her.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know if I would even get those in a multiple choice quiz, and we just watched like over an hour of this shit. It was bad. And so then, after this little conversation where he's just like, nah, I don't care who gave you their semen, who gives a fuck. Then they in a scene that's very reminiscent of being like abducted by aliens, they just, a green light shows up,
and then they're abducted into another world.
They're abducted into another world, because of course. And then they end up in this like sort of dark cave area type deal, right? They do not have much of a conversation. If I remember, they say something along the lines of, wow, what's happening? Were we just taken to a strange place or something like that? And then the girl says one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. She's like, well, wait, no, it doesn't happen yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. It doesn't happen yet, because first she does.
How could you get this out of order, Rem?
Oh, my bad. It's so goddamn important, because first she tells him who the father is. And Shaun, there's no father. It's a virgin birth.
Yep.
Like Christ him goddamn self. She's like, who knows? It's just.
Which it makes it even better, because they start talking about it like this is a thing that just happens in the day-to-day that can happen.
Yeah. Like, they speak about it very casually, but then when they're like, we should figure out what we're doing here, she's like, well, I mean, considering that I am a virgin and pregnant, this is hardly the weirdest thing to happen, even though it definitely still is. Like, don't get me wrong, virgin pregnancy, wild, crazy, not scientific, and just ridiculous on all fronts. No offense, Christianity.
Yeah, for a man who looks like a bargain brand messiah, I have a hard time believing you just said that. Good luck, man.
But obviously silly. But you know what's even crazier? Being abducted into some crazy magical world that is not your own. I think that just inches it out a little bit more. But no, they're fine with it. In fact, they are hardly fazed about this. And the only time that you can tell they're sort of concerned is they will very nonchalantly be like, we should get home. And that's it. And then Shaun, crazy shit happens. Oh boy. First of all, we are like 5 minutes into the goddamn show at this point.
And nothing has happened. I mean, something's happened. Don't get me wrong, but nothing's happened.
No story has happened, but like a bunch of crazy bullshit has happened. And then she starts getting sick because she's pregnant. And then she starts throwing up, but instead of throwing up, it's an orb of dark light instead.
She fires off a fucking hyper beam.
Yeah. And so she pukes out a shadow ball out of her gullet, and then from that shadow ball comes a big old demon. And then this demon, they're like, oh no, right? They're frightened because of course. But then our bland bitch motherfucker, Itsuki magically gets a sword out of nowhere, which I still don't feel like it ever explained really.
No. It wasn't out of nowhere, Remington.
Oh, was it not?
No. You see, the Virgo symbol started glowing on her face after the thing appeared.
Oh, my bad.
Then the Virgo symbol glowed on his hand, and then the sword appeared.
Forgive me. I forget the Virgin's very prototypical ability to magically conjure swords, their strongest association in the Zodiac.
I mean, I've conjured hundreds of swords. Bring it down the ship with me. It's fine.
Oh, that might be the best joke you've ever told.
It'll certainly be the last.
So he gets a sword, and you're thinking, okay, well, this is just like an 18-year-old kid. How does he know? Oh, no, don't worry. We're pulling Kirito bullshit. He's just real good with a sword. And he just chops down this fucking demon.
In one swing.
One swing. Real easy, like butter.
Right in half, too. Midsection half as well.
Yeah, like, it is not an issue. And I think there was some explanation for it.
No.
Was there not even an explanation?
No. You think there would be an explanation for why this guy suddenly has a sword? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous.
It's so bad. It's so stupid. So then they get out of the cave, right, Shaun? They get out of the cave.
They get out of the cave, and then they meet two titular characters, two characters vitally important to the story, Rem.
I feel like I don't even know who one is because they just show up sometimes.
Don't worry.
I mean, they both just show up sometimes. Let me be fair. So we're meted with some like nerdy, nighty tight dude.
His name is Narcissus.
Narcissus.
I think that's how you pronounce it because it's supposed to be like Narcissus, but it's a dude and there's a test at the end. So I'm going with Narcissus.
Okay, yeah, sure, why not? First of all, I don't think they've said his name yet. If they have, maybe once or twice.
They said it twice. And the reason that's the main reason I can't remember how to pronounce it. Because after he meets them, Rem, you know what happens? Takes them to the king, and then the king gives an exposition dump.
Well, but more importantly is the other character they meet, of course.
Oh, yes.
The mascot of the whole show.
Mana, or Abomination, whatever you prefer, quite frankly.
Basically, to give you guys an idea of how I feel about Mana or this raccoon, red panda, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, I feel the same way about it, maybe even worse than Shaun feels about Umaru-chan. So that gives you a good idea of the vitriol I have for this creature.
I would rather watch all of Umaru-chan 3 times over and sing my praises for Umaru-chan than watch another fucking episode with this fucking Tanuki son of a bitch.
If that doesn't give you an idea of how bad this is, I do not know how we can more adequately convey how terrible this is. And so the thing with Mana, his thing is that he's just a pervert, right? He's supposed to be the comic relief, right? Because he's little and he's cute and he's a pervert.
Sex is funny, Remington.
Ha ha ha! And that's it. It just every time it's a punchline, he's like, ah ha ha, I know that you want to have sex with these attractive women, don't hide it. And there are moments where like maybe it could have potential because like there are moments where Mana is calling out our bland bitch protagonist and being like, oh, come the fuck on, you know what I mean. Which I can actually almost appreciate because one of the common tropes, especially in anime, is like anything sexual and then hyper her embarrassment, oh, what? What could you possibly be referring to?
And extreme ignorance, yes.
And so it was almost relieving that he's like, no, you'll fucking understand. But then they just go so far in that direction that it becomes intolerable in the opposite way.
And I will say, to the main character's credit, he does agree most of the time.
Yeah, no, like... More open than I expected. One of the very few compliments we can give at all. But Shaun, even through this, at this point, we're now like only 12 minutes into the first episode.
Yep.
I started to realize something, and that is how terrible the animation was. Because good God.
Yep.
The animation is terrible in almost every way. First of all, the hypothetical camera of this show is terrible. It's so bad. It's as if you had a cameraman who was just drunk or sleeping half the time. And so sometimes it'll just freeze. Sometimes it'll show irrelevant things that just don't matter to the story. And here's the thing. It's animation. There's no camera. You can't make the excuses for a bad camera like, oh, it was difficult to film here. You drew the goddamn thing. You chose the shots. But then even the stuff they draw, it's bad. There's so many still frames or stilted animations. So many times when a character's talking and either all it is like a goddamn sock puppet going up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's it. Or sometimes they won't even do that. They will have a still frame of the character's face and just dialogue will emerge from it.
I will say, in its defense, that only happened with Mana, and there is a common thing where inhuman things don't always get their lips animated in a lot of Japanese animation. You see it a lot in Ghibli films as well, but usually that's to express like a sort of otherworldly, ungodly power. But here's the thing, Rem. It was just lazy and pointless this time. It's such a simple character. It would be so easy to animate and have so many different varied expressions, but no. They just decided to have just bad screen caps the whole time.
I say this with full honesty and no irony. I believe that Conception has the single laziest animation that we have ever seen on this podcast, and that includes Forest Fairy 5, because where Forest Fairy 5, it was awful. It was bad. It was terrible animation, but it had its charm in its ways because you could at least tell people put effort into it, and obviously it still ended up being a little bit of a dumpster fire, but someone still put some effort into it. Nobody put any effort into this show at all.
Yeah, the characters actually moved, which I found interesting.
Yeah, which tends to help. Sometimes you would have dialogue between two characters. At one point in a later episode, dialogue between these two characters, and instead of cutting between the characters, or even just showing us one of the characters, it has the entire conversation showing just a still frame of beer, and that's it.
Yeah, a beer and another cocktail, and it just flips between the two like it's a clever directing choice. Like the cocktails somewhat symbolize the characters, even though we know nothing about the characters, so we have no way to tell what that means, nor more to the point that the pictures aren't even animated. If it was like a well-animated picture of beer, this is the only anime I have ever seen, Remington, that has made food look unappetizing.
It's absolutely atrocious, but let's continue a little bit more with the story, and I use that word extremely loosely here.
In fact, I think you can't use that word. I just think that it's not appropriate.
It's somewhere in the Geneva Convention outlawing it for situations like these.
Yeah, in fact, let's not call it a story. Let's call it the plot, because plot is very much just a thing.
Yep.
It's not a story, because a story involves, captivating people and telling people something. This is just a progression of events one after the other. I would call it history, but quite frankly, that's even too justified for it.
And so they, in the plot, they get to the castle, right? And that's largely where you get this huge old exposition dump where you are informed everything that is about to happen. Oh, wait, but you know what, Shaun? I actually just lied to you just then. Because as it is true that it is a huge exposition dump and they use far too many words to say hardly anything right in the middle of this, and I swear to God, this is true, right in the middle of this horrible exposition exposition dump, they have the audacity to post up a screen that says, check our website for more.
But Remington, isn't that how you build an intricate and clever world? Didn't J.R.R. Tolkien himself, in the middle of his great epic, The Lord of the Rings, just halfway through be like, hey, if you want to learn more about Legolas, why don't you just read this chapter of the Silmarillion? Didn't he do that?
See, and I know that you're making a joke, but here's the awful thing, Shaun. You can fully enjoy Lord of the Rings without reading the Silmarillion, but if you want to, you can. And if you want to, you get a deeper lore. With this, you're going to be first of all, you're going to be a little lost no matter what, even if you read the online bits. But second of all, you're going to be more lost if you don't, because it just does not well explain what the fuck is going on. And with this exposition dump, the most important thing that anybody needs to know is that there are a dozen other girls representing the different zodiac signs, and 2 for Gemini because the twinsies get it.
Before you move on, Remington, I will say I went through and I translated and read the site.
Oh no.
You want to know what the extra information is?
Do share, and maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe this is the missing puzzle piece.
There's one for each episode.
Yep.
It's a paragraph summarizing the episode. I scoured that site, which is all in Japanese, mind, so if I missed something, but I don't think I did, because the most obvious section, looked at it, read through it, and I was like, oh, so this is just summarizing the episode and repeating some of the stuff they said in the show. So not only did they tell you to go to the website to get more information, they don't even give you more information.
All right, so there are a dozen other women, right, representing all of the zodiac signs, and the thing is, they apparently occasionally need to get visitors from the normal world.
Yes, that's what they call people from the other world, visitors.
Yeah,
it's an original name.
Very, very creative, and what essentially needs to happen is, and what's heavily implied is that our male visitor, he needs to have sex and impregnate all of the different constellation signs, including, get this, how scandalous, his own cousin. Because as it turns out, she's not actually pregnant. Of course she's not pregnant. She only got the signals for pregnancy and the symptoms of pregnancy because reasons.
Now, Remington, let me be perfectly clear. He's not impregnating them. It's not a sexual act in any way, shape, or form, this traditional ritual of conception.
What it actually is as is explained at the very end of the episode, at the very end of episode 1, right as the cousin, right as the cousins are about to get it on with each other, and both of them have accepted that they want to fuck, which, as an addendum, not only don't fuck your sister, probably don't fuck your cousin either, but I don't think that needs to be said, but it's a general rule of thumb. Good to keep in mind.
I mean, to be fair, Rem, the reason the thing at the end of the episode is don't fuck your sister because apparently people need this information. And just so you know, when I say don't fuck your sister, that extends to people you're related to in general. Don't fuck your father, don't fuck your mother. You'll have an Oedipus issue there, and that did not go well for him. Don't fuck your brother, don't fuck your sister, don't fuck your cousins, and for the love of God, people, don't fuck your pets either.
These are rules of thumb that you should generally live your life by. So right as they're about to do the do, then all of a sudden, Pop, it's done, no, don't worry about it. And then they have a child just comes, and the children could have interesting design choices. Instead, they're just meaningless robots of childhood. And instead it's explained, oh no, and this is explained by Mana, and
everything is explained by Mana.
Too much. And it's just, oh, you didn't think you actually had to have sex, did you? Oh no, it's a love ritual, silly. You just need to get close to each other emotionally and physically.
While being naked.
And it was just a bunch of horseshit, really. And that's the end of the first episode. And that's its way of being like, no, they don't need to have sex, even though, for all intents and purposes,
they totally boned.
It's all just boning. And so then the plot gets a lot looser at this point. At this point, there's only like a more highlight reel. I don't think it's necessary to take them on everything that happened, but there's still some more notable moments. And and I think one of the most notable moments for me, at least, Shaun, amidst all of these one-dimensional characters, because they all go out for a picnic, right?
Yep.
And we're sort of introduced-ish to the characters.
You mean after the, trading spaces cards kind of flew at us?
Like, it went reality show style, where it's like, you have Scorpio, but she's vaguely like this. You have Gemini. You have Capricorn. And it was so fucking weird.
It was just a stream of Deviant Art OCs, and I hated it.
And it's funny you should say that, Shaun, because I actually have right here, I have what this is. I have what this is. I found out the perfect recipe for what conception is, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to reveal that until the end.
Okay, I'm terrified, but okay.
that is somewhat a recipe. So then, further on, they're talking about how they need to get more children to go out and fight, because the only reason the visitor's there is to get these children to fight. And then it's implied, or maybe even outright said, that the children are there, they keep fighting, they keep the place safe. And it's also blatantly said that they're not the first visitors. In fact, it's a regularly frequent occurrence that they get visitors to do this ritual. Where the fuck are all the other kids to be protecting and going through the dungeon? That is never addressed. It's never been like, oh, okay, we have made a bunch of troops, we've made our little child army, and we're ready, we're prepared. It's never addressed in any meaningful way.
Oh, I can tell you, Rem.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Because it is actually explicitly told to you, just in a very subtle way.
Oh, okay.
So the reason visitors come and all these priestesses, what's the plural for that? Priestesses?
I mean, I'll take priestesses. I enjoy that one. I don't.
Yeah,
It's not
priestesses.
correct, but I like it.
That's what I like about it too. Of the Zodiac appear when the dungeon. Oh, there's a dungeon, Remington.
Oh yeah, like
It's
a dungeon with big baddies.
Yep, dungeon. The dungeon opens up, and then they go down, and they have to beat all 12 floors of this dungeon in order to keep the world safe from the generic bad juju. And I'll tell you where all the other kids are. They're in the sequels, Remington.
No, Shaun, no.
Because there's a second Conception game.
No.
And I can guarantee that whole premise of that there's some in the past was a way of sugarcoating the fact that they plan to make more games.
You have tilted me off the face of the fucking planet. No.
Yep.
Stop.
And as far as I can tell, there won't be a third. I hope to God there won't be a third. And yet, the first game is getting a remastered version on Steam sometime this year, and I have never been more terrified.
Sweet Jesus. All right, so he ends up totally not fucking another one of them. And
Did you even catch her name?
I don't know any of their names. I hardly know their zodiac signs.
Yeah, that was Ruka.
Oh, but of course, Ruka.
Her zodiac was, I couldn't tell you.
Was it Capricorn? Wait, no. Yeah?
She was Cancer, I think.
Cancer.
If I'm not mistaken.
This show is a Cancer. All right, so now at this point, he's got a couple kids, and so him and the couple kids, they go fight in the dungeon. They get their ass beat. In fact, they go to the dungeon multiple times, and that could potentially be some neat action sequences, right? Some cool little battles where they're not quite ready yet, and so they try, but they get their ass whooped. And I mean, it's implied that that's what happened. It's implied because what we really just see for the most part is them leaving the dungeon with a bunch of bruises, and we're told that they've been doing this a few times, and that's it. That's all we get.
You know, JRPGs, one of the biggest flaws of a JRPG, Rem, you know what the tends to be? Grinding. You know, that's the thing that people usually hate the most, but will still do because, you know, it's part of the game, and there's a certain catharsis to it. And, you know, I can appreciate them cutting out the grinding, as this was literally just a direct translation from the game to the anime.
Which is made apparent in quite a few ways.
Yeah, but if I'm getting an anime adaptation of a game I theoretically really enjoy, I feel like we should have seen some fight scenes in the grinding phase.
Yep, nope, fuck you.
Just a thought.
You get jack all, and so that was awful. But then they're like, oh, we need to prepare. We need more kids. We need more in our child army. Which also, may I say, like once again, I've already mentioned that the kids have no personalities. For all intents and purposes, they are just not autonomous. They exist solely to battle, and that's it. They have no personalities. When there were two of them, they were speaking in unison most of the time. Like, there is nothing about them at all.
You want to know what makes it worse, Rem?
What?
They don't even call their progenitor's mother or father to even attempt to get us to be close to them.
Yeah, no, it's so awkward and weird and uncomfortable.
They call them by their first names or visitor.
Which is, like, imagine if our daughter...
oh, God, yep. Our canonical child.
Our canonical
that we've
daughter.
just locked in a box for like 7 episodes.
Samantha?
Yeah, I think it was Samantha.
Oh, shit. All right, so our canonical child, Samantha. Imagine if when she started to learn to speak, her first words were, hello, visitors. That'd be weird. That'd be uncomfortable for me.
And the only explanation I can think of, Rem, is that it's the way of... I'm referring to the game, because the anime, let's be real, it
doesn't.
I usually say the manga doesn't matter, but in this case...
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. I think that it's the way of keeping the player character, not named so that it's, anonymous. But here's the thing, Remington. You know what would also be equally anonymous and not ruin any kind of immersion? Just call them fucking father or daddy or papa or pappy or pop-pop. Any of that would have still been just as, immersive and actually made me possibly care about my weird Zodiac children that are just tiny, normal-sized people.
All great solutions. Unfortunately, fuck you. And so the children completely meaningless. Also, when it comes to the girls, and really just everyone, this show is so horrendously sexist. And I will say it's even sexist towards men, because it has a very firm idea.
I would say it's especially sexist
of what
towards men
are supposed to be and what women are supposed to be. And fuck you, everybody is an object solely meant for sex, and that is the only purpose of anybody. And it's so degrading and dehumanizing for everyone involved, and so just pure disrespectful. Like, I'm not usually one to try and get up on a high horse about social issues. I believe there are people much smarter than I who are much more capable to do that. But nonetheless, good God, that is an issue, and it is fucked in this anime. It presents it horribly.
But Remington, guys can't be discriminated against or feel the repercussions of sexism. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, and you know what? Along those lines, let's talk about some male sexual assault, especially played for laughs, because, and what I'm about to say is 100% true. There's one moment where our bland bitch protagonist, I think he was feeling a bit nervous or something like that.
Yeah, he was uncertain that he could go through with this love ritual. I forget if it had an actual name, but that's what they keep referring to it as.
Which also, it's ridiculous how not all the girls who know this is to save their world aren't all like, yeah, let's do it, but everyone needs to be seduced. It's real weird. But so to help encourage our bland bitch protagonist, Mana, and this is 100% true, he grabs our protagonist's dick and the raccoon jerks off our protagonist to completion.
And the protagonist enjoys it. Funnily enough, Remington, I think that was actually how we first met.
I'm not even willing to go with your joke on this one.
See, it's not funny in any situation. See, even the goof fails.
It's so bad. It's so it was one of the single most uncomfortable moments I have ever seen watching anime, and the last 2 anime I saw were Sword Art Online and Keijo, so you know that's some serious shit. Like, it was so viscerally uncomfortable and unnecessary, and it was just haha, cause it's sexual. Get it? And no, it's not funny, it's not good. But then we get to one of the most ludicrous things of all, Shaun. The most ludicrous things of all, because they want to get some more children for their children army. And they need them quick.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that a raccoon sexually assaulting a teenager is not the most ridiculous, offensive thing in this show?
I don't even know anymore. I couldn't rank them all. They're all in the fucking abyss as far as I'm concerned. But the fact that it's not obviously the worst is a principal concern. And so then they've come up with a plan, Shaun.
What's the plan?
There's a legend of a rumor of a story of once upon a time, a myth that existed that said threesomes exist.
What?
Nobody has ever in this world, ever even so much as considered, especially in this world where sex is so much of a focus, nobody has considered, what if there was another person?
Hold on, Remington. It's not a sexual act.
I'm sorry. What if you had a double love ritual, which is what they call it? And apparently you can hold a love ritual with more than one at a time. And in fact, not only is that useful, not only will you get 2 children out of it, but also they will be like extra strong in vague ways that it didn't really explain. But this leads to a problematic, to say the least, question. Shaun?
Yes, Remington.
It's concerning to me that one of the biggest plot holes of this entire anime is this sentence, and a sentence I never thought I'd have to say. Why don't they just stage a dodeca fuck and just all have a little orgy together? Boom! Done! You did it! You finished! Night 1!
Don't be ridiculous, Remington. Orgies don't exist.
Everyone wants to get together. And imagine if a double love ritual has 2 very powerful kids. Imagine what a dodeca fuck would do. Oh boy, a dodeca fuck. You're just summoning a dozen little Voltrons over there. They're ready to fucking kick ass.
And
they're ready to whoop. They're ready to whoop some ass. They're ready to go into that dungeon. No grinding necessary unless you're talking about the literal kind that's going on in the dodeca fuck.
And quite frankly, once that dodeca fuck happens, they're all gonna appear and combine into the ultimate child.
It'll be perfect. It'll be beautiful. Shaun?
Why don't they do that, you ask, Remington? I actually do have a answer for you.
Oh, here we go. Let's hear it.
Because that's not the way it works in the game. So the way it works in the game, Rem, and this is my vague understanding after doing some mild research, I didn't want to go full into it because I was losing my fucking mind. I think I mentioned in the first part that I was heavily drinking, doing research for this, which is why all of my research, which I've promised I'm improving on, is not going to be the best for this episode, but fuck you if you wanted it to be. The reason is it's literally just a progression locking system so you don't get too powerful kids too early, and you need to have a certain amount of magical energy
in order what you call it nowadays.
Yeah, because they do say this in the show very badly that it's so draining on the magical front that it's not really possible. But here's the thing, Rem, in the show they don't really emphasize that. They just made it seem like he was too embarrassed to get down and dirty with 2 dudes.
Don't be ridiculous, people. Just like orgies don't exist, neither do gay people. Lesbians do exist because that's sexy in anime, and that is the only rule. Because also the only demographic for anime, it's mostly just 14-year-old dudes, and that is the only demographic which they will cater to. Other people, maybe they enjoy it, but it doesn't matter.
I will addend that dude is a gender-neutral term. My dude, you dude. Dude is a gender-neutral term as far as I'm concerned.
Party on, dude.
Exactly, dude. But yeah, no, just because it was too embarrassing to get down and dirty with 2 other dudes.
All right, and Shaun, let me summarize my thoughts, because I think I have found the perfect recipe, but it's more complicated than my usual this plus that.
Really? We're going into some actual multiplication?
Sort of. So first of all...
Long division.
Hey, there you go. So first of all, take Sword Art Online. Terrible start already.
I mean, it is the basis for most horrible isekai today.
See? So take Sword Art Online, and you want to create Sword Art Online, right?
Yep. Well, no, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no. All right, imaginary. Well, this will be like extra horny Reki, right? You got extra horny Reki.
That's a lot, man.
He wants to recreate Sword Art Online, but budget is out, so you need to only go to Fiverr. So you got Sword Art Online that you bought off of Fiverr, the website where you can buy anything for $5. But then you're like, okay, well, we need some characters, so let's just get some Tumblr and DeviantArt OCs, some original characters from them, just for anybody can create them. Who knows? Just take everything you can get, whatever it is. If things can be free of copyright, even better. And then just go to fanfiction.net for your story purposes, and then bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, you have conception.
Please don't say bada bang. I don't like that. I especially don't like that in this context, man. Come on. I don't want to think about bada banging anything anymore. I'm going celibate. Not that I had a choice to begin with.
Long story short, this is one of the single worst anime, maybe the worst, but I'd have to think on it, which is also unfortunate.
I don't. It's the worst.
And it hurts so purely, so deeply. Good God, and anybody who thought this would be enjoyable, I hope it is on your end, because good God, it wasn't on mine. And Shaun, unfortunately, I don't think that you'll be able to go celibate, whether you choose to or not, because this anime, it fucked us pretty darn hard, and it had no respect for any of our wishes. It went deep. It scarred us, and we're going to be limping physically, emotionally, mentally, and existentially for quite a while.
It does explain why I woke up sticky after all of that alcohol. I just thought I just spilled on myself. No.
God.
That would be a crime against my Irish ancestry, after all.
Yeah, of course.
But I hate that I had to do this. I genuinely do. I joke a lot about loving torturing you, which I do. It's the truth. But there are some things that are just one or two steps too far. I would call this pretty close to a step too far. Because there are still things worse out there, in more ways than one. But with this, nobody feels good after this particular show. Nobody. We had a friend sit down and watch it with us because she thought, oh, maybe I'll see how the process of the podcast goes down. Maybe we'll have an idea of what Remington is like while watching anime. That'd be interesting to see. And I'll say it many times, it is a very interesting process because you get very angry. She called me the next day and said, I had a nightmare about this anime. Why did you show me this anime? And in my defense, I told her she didn't want to come.
I guess the moral of the story, Shaun, is hi Discord, I'm on it now.
Yep, hope it was worth it, Discord. I hope it was worth it because I'm not, Discord, don't get me wrong, I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at myself.
I am also angry at Shaun.
Yep. I'm angry at myself that I didn't push it as hard as I thought I did. I thought I was being quite clever. Keijo, very good dramatic start to make Remington freak out. Sword Art Online, amazing jump to making him panic and freak out. And then a second week of Sword Art Online. That's a step he would have never expected, and it nearly drove him over the edge. I thought that would be the perfect 3-hit combo. But I forgot to factor one important thing, Remington.
Yeah.
You're a fucking dumbass. And because of that, I had to drop a fucking atomic bomb on you, and I don't appreciate that. And I am sorry that this had to happen, but honestly, Rem, I'm angry at myself, but more importantly, I'm very fucking angry at you.
Well, I went down swinging filled with foolishness and hubris. The Remington Chase story.
Yep, coming soon to Lifetime. Oh, but God, since I don't have to ask since you already gave in at the beginning of the episode, which thank you for that, but also fuck you for that. And honestly, Rem, I don't think there's much more we can say on Conception because while it is the worst thing on the face of the planet, as far as a mine for comedy and a mine for humor, I feel like we dug out all we could because honestly, I can't even recommend checking out the original content because I don't think it's even, the concept alone is bad enough. And if anybody out there has ever actually played this Conception game or is considering it thinking, well, it's a weird premise, but maybe it'll be like my Shin Megami Tenseis or my Pokemans or my Digimons. It's not. And it is not worth your time, your money, or your sanity. Take it from me, a man who has seen 3 episodes of Conception twice over, plus the remaining series. It is the worst possible thing you could ever watch, and I'm sorry that anybody had to see it. But with that, Remington, do you...
No, don't, Shaun.
Yeah, what?
Shaun, don't even fucking ask. No, I don't want to see more. I don't even want the words to come out of your mouth. Let's move on right now.
But Remington, structure in a podcast is important.
No, fuck structure. We've broken that this week. No asking if I want to watch more. Everyone knows the answer to that.
So it's yes, right?
God, no. I might quit the podcast if you announced that we were doing it again. It would genuinely go through my mind.
I'm gonna make you a promise right now, Remington. Unless the most dire circumstances approach us, I'm never fucking making you watching this show ever again. I would sooner make you watch the entirety of Monster Musume twice over than I would show you this.
That's also not good. I don't want that either.
But I can at least have fun during Monster Musume.
I can't.
That's not the point. The point is I need to have fun.
Oh, God.
I'm your local sadist, not you. You don't matter as much. I do. And for those of you out there who are on Remington's side,
Hashtag Team Remington.
yeah, I appreciate you. I love you. But this is my show. I can do what the fuck I want.
He's gotten mad with power.
Suck it, haters.
We need to stage a coup.
A Remington coup. I can't wait to see how that goes.
We'll start in the Discord. I'll be there.
Viva la revolution. Except the revolution is just going to be more bad anime, probably. And cute puppies. But hey, at least one of those things is nice. And honestly, Rem, I think that'll do it for us. And to honor your last wishes, I won't ask you.
Thank you.
Sure you don't want to watch more?
Fuck you, Shaun. No.
All right, and that'll do it for us, folks. If you enjoyed the I can't even fucking speak anymore. If you enjoyed the existential dread that is our mutual suffering, then please leave a review on whatever platform you listen on, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or if you really want to help us grow, word of mouth is the best way to do it.
And if you would like to contact us directly, whether it is for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can either tweet us at AnimeConPod or on Twitter, or you can email us.
See? Neither of us can talk after that.
Fucked. Take two.
It's fine. He'll leave it in. I'm sure he's lazy like that.
And if you'd like to contact us directly, whether it is for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can either tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
And keep an eye on that Twitter, as we'll be periodically dropping links to our Discord, which was the root of all this suffering, even though we love it very deeply.
Join the party. I'm there now.
Yeah. Remington's there, and he is loving it. But once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in, and for the love of God, don't fuck your sister.
Da, 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 da.